Okay, let's make a move. So, once again, welcome all. Good to have you here for another Ticket Training Tuesday. And today we're going to be talking about APIs. What's on the agenda? So, we're going to do some of our usual housekeeping. So, just in case you're new, you know how to interact and how to reach out to us after the fact. And we'll do a recap because there actually were two previous episodes on APIs, one in our first season and one in the second season. So here's our season 3 episode. So we'll just make sure that you know what's been covered before, so you know what to look for if it's missing from this episode. And then we have a demo with a use case which is close to my heart. So looking forward to that as well. And of course, as always, this time at the end for questions. So this is myself. My name is James. I'm sure I've interacted with most of you before, see some familiar names. But I'm part of the customer success team here at Tikit. And to give you a reminder or an insight into all things Ticket Training Tuesday, feel free to interact at any point by calling out or raising your hand or putting a message in the chat. We've got our schedule available by the links. I've got a bunch of links ready to paste through, which I will send now. And then we also welcome feedback as well as ideas for future sessions. So please do email them to us or log them as a ticket on the help portal. And there's some additional useful tools linked there too. So I'll send these through. And I think it's missing a link at the end. So I'll send this one. So at the end of that message, we've got the links to the two previous episodes as well. So that takes us on to our next slide very nicely, our recap. What was happening during those first two episodes on APIs? So in season 1, it was, I call it Project Postman because Jackson was giving a demo that was really hands-on in Postman and how to use the APIs in that format. And he actually shared the collection that we had at the time, the API collection, which is quite outdated now, hence why there's an asterisk. So I'll show you after this slide how it's been updated and where you can access it. And in that episode as well, he showed how you can do get actions, post to update tickets, how to, sorry, post to create them and patch to update them. So yeah, if you want to see how that works in depth, feel free to check out that season 1 episode as it was a real deep dive on those things. And he also showed how to get certain endpoints that you can't quite find by going to the developer tools and network tab when you're using the web portal as well. So if you're looking for things like certain custom form answers, then he showed how to find that and how to use it as well. And then in season 2, we had Justin show our new and improved API website, sort of a API collection portal. And that's the link there, ticketapi.sison.com. And he showed how you can do these get and post and actions directly from that website. And he also showed how you can generate a token from your environment, use it directly in this portal. And there was also a very interesting question at the end surrounding the requesters versus creators versus ticket creators on tickets that are made by these API calls, which was answered expertly by Justin there. So if you're curious about if I use an API call to create a ticket, who's the ticket created by? Who's the requester? Can I control that? Feel free to check out that season 2 episode. Okay, so we'll move into our demo. So first and foremost, I wanted to show that update to the Postman collection that we talked about that was shared in season 1. So let me share my screen. This is the one I want. Okay, be able to see that. All right, so this is what was available before. It was this old Ticket API collection. So it was just these here that we provided to customers to get started with playing around and experimented with APIs. But now you can get the full collection by going to the website. So let's see if I could quickly show you where to get that from. So everything here you can find on our uh, API collection portal. So I'm just pulling that up here. So give you a sneak peek there. I'll just pull that up. So everything that you can see here, you can download the collection for your use wherever you'd like by clicking this button. And this is just an example of how it shows up in Postman directly. So you've got all the information at your disposal. So it's completely night and day compared to how it was before. You've got absolutely everything here. All right. So now let's move into that use case scenario regarding our APIs. So this is the flow. So during this time of year, summertime, I myself, many of my colleagues have been out of office at different points and still managing tickets. So I thought to myself, it would be really nice for our ticketing system to notify requesters when the person that the ticket is assigned to isn't in. Because sometimes it's very easy for tickets to get swept under the rug or missed, and then they get stale for quite a long time. So that's what we've used here in our flow. That's what we've set up. So just to give you a summary of how it works, it looks out for when a comment is left on a ticket. Then it will sort those comments because we want to get the latest one. And then it will look out to see whether the person that the ticket is assigned to has their automatic replies set up or not. So in other words, are they out of office or not? And so that looks for this value here. So if it's toggled on, then it will proceed with the actions on this left-hand side of true. If it's toggled off, then no action is needed. Okay. And as we go through, we've got a condition, which does just that. It looks out for that automatic reply, as you can see there. It looks out for that value. All right, so here, this is where our API gets into it. So here we're looking for the comment that was left, the latest comment. We want to find that user. So we'll use this URL as our API call. We'll look for the platform user. You can actually see that taken directly from our collection here. So on the get users, you can see that. So we're looking for the user, and then by putting a little function together, we can pull from our sorted comments earlier, and we want to find the last one, because that's what we're looking for, the last comment. So just as a sort of a side note, this trigger can be quite deceptive because you think that it would be just it would just be pulling in the information about the comment, but it doesn't. It pulls in everything about that ticket, hence why we don't need another action to get the ticket details, because this trigger effectively acts as that. It gets all the information from it. So we look for that last comment and we get that. And in this header here, this is what we'll use to sort of authorize our access to our own ticket environment. So I've used the word bearer token, space, and then I've put my access token, which is grabbed from ticket settings, access tokens. And once again, it has to be active for it to work. Okay, so that's that. And then once it's got the information about that user who last left a comment, it's going to, it's here. We now want to send an email to notify them that that assignee is actually out of office. And how do we do that? So I'll just hover over here. So we're using the information that we've got from our API call, and we're grabbing the email address of that last commenter. We're grabbing their email address, and that's who the email will be sent to. So we're sending an email to the requester. You can have a subject of your choice. And then once again, from that API call, we're grabbing their given name, in other words, their first name from the commenter. And this is where it gets quite cool, because you can actually use the automatic response that that assignee has set up in their email. Just an example here. So can you plug that in directly, and then that will be sent out by email to the requester. Okay, so that's the whole setup here. And then of course, if this condition isn't met, if their automatic replies aren't on, meaning they're not out of office, no action is taken. It ends there. Okay, so let's show you that in practice. So we have a test ticket here. So let's say mouse hello, is there an update? So this is the perspective of a requester, the effective user here, Alex Snow, and it's assigned to Jimmy James, the admin, who is currently out of office, as we saw in here, currently out of office. So if I leave a comment as the requester, the flow is going to run, look for all of this information. Let's go back. Changes have been made. Okay, ignore those failed ones. That's actually a good thing. I'm glad I went here. So this is a good time to shout out our customer success managers, as with these APIs and flows and integrating them in different places, you can easily get stuck or get results that you're not looking for, maybe loops that you're not looking for. So with our customer success managers, whenever you're stuck on something or would like a second opinion or some guidance, you can reach out to us, and then your assigned customer success manager can actually walk you through your flow and give you pointers and help you out on that front. So if you have any ideas and want some help executing it, feel free to reach out to customer success. So we can see that has succeeded. So we'll go to the requester's email, and as you can see here, they've received that email from the admin saying that they're out. This is very cool. From here, they could also specify, oh, please reach out to our connected help desk email and cite your ticket number. So they could create a new ticket, cite the ticket number, and then one of the analysts that is in, they can merge the tickets or just make sure that the requester is looked after. So that's that. That's one interesting use case. But if you can think of any others, I'm sure it will be achieved. So we've got a question here. Is this updated in the ticket as well? Which aspects? So
it's not, Todd. We just sent an email there at the end, but it could be. It was just trying to do, kind of a quick demo in terms of the requester or whoever makes a comment and then send an email back to that person, just the way kind of Outlook would do, but we're intercepting that through Power Automate. Yeah, cool.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah. It could be though. I mean, definitely could be. Like there could be subsequent actions too, under the where we're sending the email. Yeah, they're in the flow. There could be subsequent actions that write back to the ticket, change the stat, do, maybe strip the signee, whatever. Like all kinds of things could be done there. Absolutely.
Lovely. Good question, Todd. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to post in the chat or call out. All right, so here we have, of course, our email. So if you do get any questions or you would like the help of a customer success manager to help you with APIs and implementing them, then feel free to reach out, help@sison.com. And once again, we've got the links to the previous 2 episodes on APIs, and this one will be posted very soon as well, if you'd like to go back and see each action and the explanation of each one as well. Okay, great. So thank you all once again for joining. Thank you to our customer success manager, Justin, for helping make it nice and simple for you all as part of the demo. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy your day. Take good care.